Hello students, I am Dr. Kumar Rathore, Assistant Professor, Department of Kaumar Nritya, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science at Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur, Rajasthan. Students, today's session we will discuss about fluid and electrolyte imbalance. So what is the objective of this session? First is revision of fluid compartment, sign and symptoms of fluid imbalance, assessment of fluid status, interventions for fluid imbalance, function of sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and phosphate, sign symptom of electrolyte imbalance, and management of electrolyte imbalance. Then thereafter acid-base imbalance and prescribing fluids for that. So first outline, introduction, then normal exchange of fluid and electrolyte. Then fluid volume imbalance and electrolyte imbalance. Introduction, total body water is 50 to 70% of total body weight, intracellular fluid and extracellular fluid. So intracellular fluid is 40% of total body weight, and then extracellular fluids is 20% of total body weight. Now extracellular fluid is further divided in two parts, interstitial fluid and intravascular fluid. So interstitial fluid is 50% of total body weight and intravascular is 5% of total body weight. Now introduction, intracellular fluid, and it's intracellular, and in the other hand plasma is 8%, intercellular 65%, interstitial 25%, and transcellular fluid is 2%. Now composition, here is a cation and anion divided two parts. So cations like first sodium, in plasma sodium 140 and interstitial 146 and intracellular is 12. Potassium ion, that is 4 plasma, interstitial 3, 4 interstitial 4 and intracellular 150. Then calcium 5, 3 and 10 to power minus 7. Magnesium is 2, 1 and 7. Now anion is chloride. Chloride is maximum in 103 in plasma, interstitial 107. So it is important thing is cation sodium maximum value in plasma, that is external compartment of the cell, and then interstitial value is 146, and anion is calcium 106 and interstitial 104. It means intracellular cells in cell intracellularly anion value is 104 and external compartment sodium value in 140. Now body fluids disturbance classify into three broad categories. First is changes in volume. So they call hypovolemia and hypervolemia. Changes in concentration is a hyponatremia and hypernatremia, and changes in composition is acid-base imbalance, concentration changes in calcium, magnesium, and potassium. Now, assessment of fluid imbalance. First, take history to recent input or output, blood pressure, heart rate, daily weight, skin turgor, mucous membrane, mental status, and lab analysis. It is important. Physical sign and symptoms of fluid volume imbalance. Hypovolemia causes it. Here is two subdivided: hypovolemia and hypervolemia. So hypovolemia causes poor skin, dry mucous membrane, and dry axilla, flat neck, tachycardia, orthostatic hypotension, hypothermia, weight loss, sunken eyes, azotemia, and oliguria. That is caused by hypovolemia. And hypervolemia causes shortness of breath at rest or within exertion, jugular vein disturbance, and hepatojugular reflex, ascites, pitting edema, and weight gain. So they all are for hypervolemia. Now, common laboratory tests to evaluate body fluid disturbance. Hypovolemia is a serum electrolyte, sun or creatinine, hypohematocrit, then urine electrolytes and specific gravity, serum albumin, 24 hours urine for creatinine clearance, and hypervolemia, for hypervolemia, serum electrolyte, urine specific gravity, 24-hour urine for creatinine clearance, total protein, cholesterol, and liver enzyme and bilirubin. Now, first is sodium. So normal serum sodium level is 135 to 145 milli equivalent per liter. So hyponatremia is defined as serum sodium level less than 135 milli equivalent per liter. Then acute symptomatic hyponatremia usually does not become clinically evident until serum sodium level is 130 milli equivalent per liter, and chronic hyponatremia state usually remain asymptomatic until serum sodium level fall below 120 milli equivalent per liter. So serum osmolarity is the laboratory test most critical for the diagnosis of hyponatremia. Now, clinical manifestation of hyponatremia. Clinical manifestation is first is CNS body system. So CNS hyponatremia cause headache, confusion, hyperactiveness, hypoactive deep tendon reflex, seizures, coma, and increase intracranial pressure. And musculoskeletal weakness, fatigue, muscle cramp, and twitching. GI anorexia, nausea, vomiting, watery, and diarrhea. Cardiovascular causes hypertension, bradycardia if intracranial pressure increases significantly. Then tissue level lacrimation and salivation, and renal oliguria. Clinical manifestation of hyponatremia is again central nervous system, restlessness, letharginess. It is all manifestations from hyponatremia. It is not for hypo. I will told you in previous slides. So it's a hyper called restlessness, letharginess, ataxia, irritability, tonic spasm, delirium, seizures, and coma. And musculoskeletal cause weakness, metabolic cause fever, cardiovascular cause tachycardia and hypotension, syncope, tissue cause dry sticky mucous membrane, red swollen tongue, and decreased saliva and tears, and renal cause oliguria. Now potassium, normal serum potassium level is 3.5 to 5.1 milli equivalent per liter. Hypokalemia causes serum potassium less than, because its name is hypo, so it means less than 3.5 milli equivalent per liter. Causes hypokalemia, decreased dietary intake, gastrointestinal losses, renal losses, and cellular shifting. Now sign and symptom, neuromuscular means muscle weakness, paralysis, rhabdomyolysis, hyporeflexia, and cardiac cause EKG finding, T wave flattening and inversion, UV, and ST depression. It is important. Hypokalemia is EKG finding is T wave flattens, and ST depression and cardiac toxicity of digitalis. Renal polyuria and polydipsia, and gastrointestinal paralytic ileus causes by hypokalemia. Now treatment, hypokalemia initially is aimed at correcting the existing metabolic abnormalities. Potassium chloride is administered at 10 milli equivalent per liter per hour peripherally, or 20 milli equivalent per liter per hour centrally if EKG changes are present. Hypokalemia alone rarely produce cardiac arrhythmias. Hyperkalemia, it is defined as serum potassium level greater than 5.1 milli equivalent per liter. Now causes of hyperkalemia is pseudo-hyperkalemia, transcellular shifting, impaired renal excretion, excessive intake, and blood transfusion. Now sign and symptom, neuromuscular sign and symptom is weakness, paresthesia, and flaccid paralysis. And cardiac causes EKG finding like peak T value, flattened T value, prolonged PR value, widened QRS. It is important. Hyperkalemia, widened QRS, and flattened P wave, peak T wave. So it is important. Many question arises from EKG findings in fluid electrolyte imbalance. So keep in mind, cardiac arrest may be. Now treatment of hyperkalemia means hyperkalemia treatment is calcium gluconate, doses 10 to 30 ml in 10% solution intravenously. and rational membrane stabilizer. Again, sodium bicarbonate 50 milliequivalent intravenously, shifting potassium plus into cell. Now hyperkalemia treatment, glucose, insulin, 1 ampoule, D50 with 5 unit regular insulin, rationally, potassium shifting into cell. Now sodium polyesters, polycystrin 50 to 100 gram enema with 50 ml 70% sorbitol, 100 ml water, or 20 to 40 gram orally. Sodium polyestrins. Then remove excess. Calcium. Normal calcium concentration 8.8 to 10.5 milligram per dl. Normal range is iodized calcium is 1.1 to 1.28 mg per dl. Now calcium concentration must be interpreted with respect to the serum albumin, because 40% to 60% of total serum calcium are bonded to albumin. Hypokalemia, sign and symptoms: hypotension, laryngeal spasm, paresthesia, tetany, anxiety, depression, and psychosis. In adult who have normal renal function, calcium replacement is 1 gram in 50 ml, dextrose 5% in water and normal saline. Intravenous solution should be infused for 30 minutes. Hypercalcemia in serum greater than 10.5 mg per dl. Sign symptom: hypertension, bradycardia, constipation, anorexia, nausea, vomiting, nephrolithiasis, bone pain, psychosis, and pertussis. So treatment include hydration with normal saline, bisphosphonates, calcitonin, and glucocorticoid and phosphate. Magnesium concentration in extracellular fluids range 1.5 to 2.5 mg per dl. So in corrected magnesium deficiency impair replication of cellular potassium and calcium. Hypomagnesia is greater than 1.8 mg per dl. Sign and symptom causes arrhythmias, prolonged PR and QT interval. It is important. Prolonged PR and QT interval on EKG. Hyperphagia, fasciculation, and Chauvistic and Torisio sign in tetany. Hypermagnesia more than 2.5 mg per dl. Sign and symptom: respiratory depression, hypotension, cardiac arrest, nausea, vomiting, and hyporeflexia and somnolence. Treatment of hypermagnesia may include calcium infusion, saline infusion with the loop diuretics, and dialysis. Phosphate normal value 2.5 to 1.9 mg per dl. So hypophosphatemia less than 2.5 and hyper more than 4.9. Sign symptom is letharginess, hypotension, irritability, cardiac arrhythmia, and skeletal demineralization. 1 milliliter of phosphate supply 1.33 milliequivalent sodium or 1.47 milliequivalent potassium. It is very important. Now hyper that is more than 5 mg per dl. Pertussis is the only remarkable symptom of hypophosphatemia. Treatment: dietary phosphate restriction and phosphate binder, hydration, D50 and insulins to shift phosphate into cells. So thank you. That's all about fluid electrolyte. In this session, we just compare hypo and hyper value of some extracellular cations and intracellular anions. So I think it is sufficient for fluid imbalance. In next session, we will discuss about acid-base imbalance. Here is just electrolyte imbalance management and sign symptoms. So that's all for this session. Hope you liked that session and it will useful to you. And please remember some points in this session, because many examination ECG finding ask many questions from that session. So hope you like that session. Thank you. Thank you so much.